ladies, your boy's going to hit you with some realness today, okay? Specifically, how to tell if a guy actually likes you. I think it's extremely easy. In fact, I think it's so easy that the reason you have a hard time is you try to justify things because you have rose-colored glasses on. You're thinking more emotionally than you are logically, because you thought logically like I do and a lot of men do, the signs will be there, right? So jumping into this, let me first say that if you do have a hard time being able to read a guy, I have two specific guides, absolutely free. One's on filtering men, a whole complete guide on filtering men, and the other one is how to tell how much a guy actually likes you, like in detail, all the information you need to where you can get an accurate scale from 1 to 10 on where you stand with him. Okay, absolutely free. Links are down below. But here's the thing I want to talk about specifically, and that's you have to understand men like the path of least resistance. Okay, they like the path of least resistance, and that can work for you or against you. So the example of where it would work against you is a man investing in a woman when he's not sure about her. If I'm dating you and I'm not sure about you, or I don't want a relationship, but I still want the benefits, I'm going to breadcrumb and half-ass and be inconsistent and do all these things to see how much I really need to invest to get the same outcome I want. That's why a lot of you guys are talking to men who are BSing you and stuff and not necessarily letting you go or pushing forward towards a relationship because they want to do the bare minimum and still keep you tied at the end of the rope type of thing. So that's where it hurts you. Where it benefits you is, let's say you and the guy are actually on the same page, okay? I guess I want to segue this. When it comes to mixed signals, those aren't really a thing, because if a guy was on the same page as you, it would do more harm than good sending a woman mixed signals. If you and I both are healthy, happy, loving, caring, emotionally available individuals who want the same thing, why would I play games? That increases the risk of losing you as a woman, because any high value woman would say, what the hell is this? Why am I putting up with this? This is BS. I'm out, right? Because your job is also to avoid risk. The whole game of dating is to avoid risk while getting to where we need to be. So if I want a relationship, it would be risky playing games. If you want a relationship, it would be risky of you to continue with a guy who plays games. So when there's mixed signals involved, it's usually because of a guy that I told you, or of the guy I said previously, a couple minutes ago, which is the guy who's playing games because he's trying to breadcrumb and see what he can get. I usually like to exchange the word mixed signals with convenience. He's hot when he wants something, he's cold when he doesn't, and he likes to swing you along the spectrum, because if a guy can keep you, a guy who's unsure about you, who doesn't want a relationship, if he can keep you right here without cutting you off, because that's a risk, he can regret that because he doesn't get access to the assets anymore. At the same time, he doesn't want a relationship, so he's not going to go that way. If he can just keep you right here and give you have you justify and argue with yourself on if you should stay or go, right? Keep you busy, he wins, okay? So going back to the title of this video, lady, it's common sense. If you're talking to a guy and he's playing games, he's inconsistent, he's breadcrumbing you, he's back and forth, he's doing all these things, no matter how great of the thing he is or he's doing, he can say, I like you, I'm not talking to anyone else, I'm this, I'm that, great. But if he's doing these things over here, no, there's no such thing as in reality as mixed signal. It's just a guy who is treating you based on convenience. Like I was going to originally say, if we both want the same thing, why not just move towards that thing? Why do we have to play games? Listen, I always throw around the concept of power dynamics. See, we're going to start getting deep here, ladies. I always throw around the power dynamics, initiating tags, who should ask who should do this much, that, when should you sleep with the guy, how many dates should you be on, which IOIs, indicators of interest, should you show. All that is two ways to look at it. You could do it in a playful way, all that, like indicators of interest, like the flirting, the banter, the quick wit, the back and forth, the intent versus premise. And again, all this stuff, I have a power dynamics guide down below, absolutely free. Just click the link. But men do that, like the power shifting stuff, that's more gamey if I'm unsure about the woman, because we go towards the path of least resistance. I'm not going to pay full price if I don't have to pay full price. The reason we got as far as we did as a species is because we're very resourceful. If I only have 100 apples and you're asking for 50 of them, and then I have 50 left to go give to another woman, I don't know why it's apples, right? But let's say I'm an apple collector. I got my little fucking Elliott bag of apples. I'm pulling them out, and you're like, I want 50 of them. It's like, okay, well, you got some things I want. Here's 50 apples. But if I can later convince you down to 30 apples, and I got an extra 20. Well, now, according to my math, I got 70 apples left. I can distribute that to other women. That's how men think, and that is what he's doing. How do I know that? Because he's still on the market. He's still on the market, and he still has to have resources to invest women to convince them the same thing he convinced you, which is, hey, I'm not that bad of a guy. Let's start with 50 apples and then work from there. Let's do some refinancing later on down the road. That's what men do, ladies, when they're unsure about you. So it goes back to the title. How do you know if a guy really likes you? None of this would be happening. You wouldn't be watching my videos. You wouldn't be asking yourself questions in your head, wondering what's going on. You wouldn't be wondering what's going on, like with him. None of this would exist. People who like you are very transparent. They're very good at communication. They're very good at progressing. They're very good at moving forward, okay? As simple as that. Again, if you want all these guides, I have like 9 of them, ladies, all for you. Links down below. Love you all. Take care and peace.